Anytime I travel, I discover that it changes my pattern of life. And if it changes my pattern of life, and I miss out on my Bible reading, I miss out on the development of some qualities I need in getting the work done. If I miss out for 1 week, it affects me. And because of that, one, I regulate my traveling. I space my traveling out. Not only that, when I travel out, before I ever get to where I'm going, I can visualize that this is what those people will try to do, and I will work against that. How do I do that? Last year I went to Ghana. I went to have a crusade. I went with this gospel band, but except any of them is here now, they won't know what I'm going to say now. I lived in a particular apartment, and they lived in other apartments. The reason is this: many of them will find it difficult to see me in Lagos because Deeper Life Church is big and everybody may want to see me. And if I see everybody, the time they want to see me, there will be no time to read Bible or pray. So now that we're not in Lagos and we're in Ghana, they might think, aha, this is opportunity. We can't catch that man in Lagos, now we can catch him in Ghana. But you can't. So they lived somewhere, I lived somewhere. Not only that, I knew that when somebody goes from one country to another like that, to go and have a crusade, some of the people that are there just to help you, just to show you that they welcome you and they love you, this one will invite you for dinner, this one will invite you for breakfast, this one will invite you for lunch, this one will invite you for get-together, just to show love. They won't know that other people will do it. So before we left, I had written those things down, that I will not go for lunch with anybody. If I want to eat, I will eat where I am. You see, when I eat where I am, I can decide I'm spending 15 minutes on that meal. When you invite me out and I come to your house, when I go for a crusade, I cannot decide I will spend 15 minutes, because the host will first of all like for us to discuss, and what we're discussing will not be spiritual. He will like to make me feel at home. He will not know that thing is not helping me, and he'll be discussing about, Ghana. He'll be telling me about the Ashanti region, about Ga, about Volta, about this, and you must smile to keep social. And then after all that, he will not allow them to bring the food all at a time. He'll say, no, that's not how to treat a guest. He'll bring something, and after you have taken that, we'll talk and talk. Then after that, they'll bring another thing, then you'll talk and talk. After that, you cannot say that, you don't want dessert. They'll think that you are not civilized. So they'll bring dessert. Before you leave that place, you may spend 2 hours. I can't do that when I go for crusade. And when I do it the way I want to do it, the people get offended. And I know it. But I'd rather offend them and keep the anointing. Rather offend them and keep the power. And so when we got to Ghana, our pastor there told me that so and so, very, very important in this city. I said, yes. He has invited you for dinner and said if you don't have chance tonight, tomorrow night will be all right. So I told him to tell him that I appreciate it, I love it very much, but I'm sorry, I won't be able to do that. One, I wanted to wait on the Lord, because it's not Nigeria. In Nigeria, sometimes because of the miracles and testimonies they have heard, when I minister in some places where they have already known about my ministration, it's easier. When you go to a place where they are wondering, what are they doing? Okay, let's go there and see. They are not praying for you. What they are saying is that, let's go there and see. and you are carrying all the burden alone. So if you are going about eating and drinking and eating and drinking, at the end of the whole thing, you'll be surprised. So that's why I will regulate my traveling. Outside is worse when you travel outside Africa. I was in Britain last year to have meetings in some churches. And as I began to minister, the Lord glorified himself. And the Nigerians that were in that church, oh, how happy they were that God is using a brother from Nigeria, and we are Nigerians. You know what they were saying? This one will come and say, brother, what do you want? Amala, eba, pounded yam. What is it? Just tell us, we will do it for you. I'll smile and say, thank you very much. They couldn't understand. Because you see, we're Nigerians together. And God is using this man, and these people, they appreciate him. And we who are Nigerians, we should show that appreciation. And then the whites themselves, one of them came to me and said, have you seen the palace? Have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? I said, no. Have you not come to London before? I said, I've been coming since 1974. Oh, you must see all these places. And they invited me to come and talk about signs and wonders. And if you are talking about signs and wonders, and you are visiting the palace in the afternoon, and you are eating dinner before you go for the meeting, and you are all sightseeing, going to the circus and going to Oxford Square in the afternoon, in the evening you want to talk about signs and wonders, you'll be disappointed. But they didn't understand, because their pattern of life is that we go everywhere. I see everything, then I take pictures. But I said, I'm sorry, I appreciate it. I'll say not today. Then you come the other day, I say not today. They come another day, I say, my brother, I'm sorry, it cannot be today again. Don't you like to see all the... Oh, I said I like it very much if I could have the time. Maybe God will give us the time, and then I'll make them to laugh a little bit, then I'll push them off. But you know, in the evenings, God was wonderful. The other year, I was in an Assemblies of God church. That church had been there for 60 years. In the morning, the pastor called me, and he told me that he had invited somebody to come to the church in the evening. And that person was occultic. And he wanted me to preach on occultism, so as to catch that man. Now, you see, this is a white person. And it's difficult for me to say no, because he invited me to his church. So I smiled. He gave me the outline, and he said he prepared it before he had studied it, real knowledge inside that outline. I got it. I said, thank you, sir. And I put it somewhere. When I woke up in the morning, they live in a duplex. They gave me a room upstairs. Now, if I go to eat with them downstairs in the morning, I have a problem, because they talk a lot. They like to make you feel at home. So what I will do is that I'll be reading Bible, I'll be praying deliberately. I allow them to finish their breakfast. When they have gone, then if I want to take anything, I go and take it. That way, I could keep my spiritual freshness. So that morning, the Lord himself ministered to me what I was to preach in the evening. And I prepared. As the Lord was talking to me, I was writing everything down fast. Sometimes it's like that. And but he gave me the outline. And I didn't tell him I wasn't going to preach in the outline. All through the day, I didn't come to discuss with him, because he came for lunch, but I was still upstairs. And eventually we got there in the evening. We got to his office, and he, discussed with me grabbed me, embraced me, and prayed, and said he's still watching for that man, that occultic man. He has not seen him yet, but he knows he's coming. I smiled. And eventually, at the end of the service, what we discovered, the man did not come. If I had used his outline, I would have misfired. But I told you that church had been there for 60 years, from 1926 to 1986. When he came to be the pastor of that church about 5 years ago now, he made some changes. Some of the people did not like the changes he made. He didn't tell me. I knew this later. They didn't like the changes he made, so they went away from the church. 3 families. Then they heard that a Nigerian African person was there that week. Just because of me, they came that night. And I started preaching. In the middle of the message, I looked at them. I said, I'm going to say some things that will embarrass you. I'm sorry for it. And I pointed. I said, you see, you've been in the church before. Then because you don't like what is going on, you left the church. Now that you have come back, don't go away again. Stay where you are. The pastor was shocked. He was afraid that maybe they would think that he has told me. And then I said, and I was just talking. And then when I see that they are becoming uneasy, I'll make them laugh. I'll say something, and then I'll continue again. At the end of that meeting, the pastor himself came forward and he said he needed the anointing, that I should pray for him. And then he told the church, he said, if I, your pastor, if I can tell you that I need prayer and that this man from Nigeria should pray for me, what are you sitting down for? You need anointing. And they started coming. And I was a medical doctor there that had that murmur. And he's been having that problem for a long time. Laid hands on him and prayed for him. The second day he went to his place of work, and the heart murmur had vanished. And when a medical doctor gives testimony like that in London, that's testimony. A couple that had been looking for a child for 8 years came that day. I prayed for them. When we came back to Nigeria, I wrote to them, and then they got that letter on a Friday. He got that letter on a Friday, and I said in that letter that you will begin to hear more testimonies of miracles that took place the time I came to your church. On Sunday, this couple came who had been looking for a child for 8 years, and I prayed for them during that time. The doctor attested them. They were now confirmed pregnant. When I went back to Britain last year, 1987, I was at the Assemblies of God convention. Pastors, just like we're having now, pastors came together, and I think we must have been up to perhaps 2,000 to 3,000 or more than that. And while I was preaching on miracles, signs and wonders, I gave this testimony that I was in the Assemblies of God church. I mentioned the name of the pastor, and that I prayed for that couple. 8 years they've been looking for a child, and that God blessed them, that the woman became pregnant. Then I said, I don't know whether she has now delivered or not. Immediately after the message, one of the pastors in the conference ran to me. He said, I know the couple you are talking about, and I know the pastor, and I know that church. I want to tell you that last month that woman has delivered. But you see, my brothers and sisters, what I'm saying is this: when you travel out like that, it will change your pattern of life if you are not careful. They will feed you until you'll be vomiting. And the bigger stomach, the emptier the head. The heavier the stomach, the less the anointing. That's why when you travel, you need to regulate. And if you're traveling up and down, make sure that your quiet time is still going on, your prayer time is still going on, your fellowship with the Lord is still going on. Otherwise, we will dry up. And if we're not careful, we might even backslide.